Dragon Ball?
Super Broly. The anime movie that's sweeping the nation. It's breaking every single box office record for anime movies. Its stupid high selling records puts it as the highest grossing Dragon Ball movie right now. And just the hype for it was absurd. But, did the movie truly live up to its hype? Now, I know this video is like 2 months, not 2 months, like 3 weeks late? Yeah, 3 weeks late. But I really just wanted to talk about this before I did topic entirely lost its relevancy. So, as you can tell by the title, I'm going to be talking about how Dragon Ball Super Broly did not have character development at all. It was one of the big things that was hyped about the movie that I saw when I was seeing trailers and interviews. Big Pinata, when he was talking in an interview, they asked about him how the character development was, and he said you were going to love it. You were going to love it. It was going to be phenomenal. And, well, there wasn't any at all. Now, I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me because they're going to be like, no, Broly is a completely different character than he was in the original movie. He's so different. He's so more nuanced. He has all this depth now. And while that's true to a certain degree, I don't think people understand what character development is. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. So I'm talking about character development. Really, character development is a part of a character arc. Really, it's like a small brick in an overarching narrative. So let's take Vegeta for example, because Vegeta, despite a lot of Dragon Ball's flaws in general, Vegeta's storyline is probably one of the best examples of a story arc ever written and told in fiction. So, when we're first introduced to Vegeta, he's a prideful Saiyan warrior. He's willing to kill his I guess like one of the only members of his race left the second he becomes invaluable or not valuable. Not invaluable. That means you gain value. Stupid. And after his fight with Goku, he realizes that he's not born with the status of the strongest. That's what he thought his whole life, with the exception of Frieza, or he at least thought he was the strongest amongst the Saiyans. So after his fight with Goku, he realized that he was going to have to actively pursue to become the strongest, and that's an example of character development. So basically what character development is, it's an event that changes the character's perspective, essentially. That's what character development is. And a character arc is the collection of all of those events. So Vegeta, he goes from being super prideful, then he becomes slightly more, he's willing to work with a team after he working with Gohan and Krillin against the Ginyu Force, and, so on and so forth against the androids, and he becomes more and more domesticated. But the thing about a character arc that a lot of people don't really realize is that it's not always a person becoming a better, individual. Sometimes they become worse, which is a lot of times isn't brought up. So Vegeta, this is why Vegeta has such a good character arc, because he actually goes down, he goes up and down the morality sheet, if you were talking in D&D terms. So he goes from, basically chaotic neutral, or no, he starts off chaotic evil, then he goes to chaotic neutral, then he kind of becomes I guess chaotic good for a while during those 7 years, because he's not actively killing people, he's protecting his family and all that. Then when he becomes Majin Vegeta, he goes straight to chaotic evil again, and then he goes back to, being neutral, I guess you could say neutral good, maybe. So with Broly, right, his whole character arc, well, let's put this in simpler terms. How is Broly different from the start of the movie than at the end? And the answer is he really isn't. He starts off good. He has a really good established character in the beginning of the movie, where he's talking with Chile and that old man whose no one remembers his name. When he's talking about his dad, the reason why he has that pelt around his waist, and then Chile starts saying, "Hey, well, your dad is kind of a jerk. You really shouldn't respect him." And then Broly says, "Hey, you shouldn't talk about my dad that way." And that's really interesting. That's really interesting for a character to do. It's, you see that a lot in abusive families and stuff in general. So that gives something for Broly to work towards. It gives him what you would expect from that setup is that Broly would, eventually learn to live without his father and live, start making his own choices and not start following what his father says just because he's his father. That's what you would expect from a backstory like that. And it's not even that, like, I'm disappointed that we didn't get that, because I would have been fine if we, even if it was subversion, I wouldn't have cared as long as we got something. Because, like I said, you don't always have to become a better person. Sometimes you can become worse. So maybe Broly might have, like, developed a hatred for Goku and Vegeta on his own, or something like that. But none of that really happens. Like, after, it's very strange how this movie goes. Like, when Broly starts fighting, he really, he starts fighting because his dad told him to. He really has no investment in the fight. And the only reason, like, they need to fuse into Gogeta and all that other stuff is because he goes crazy. So, it's really lacking in motivation, especially for Broly, because he doesn't have any goals. He doesn't want to do anything. He just wants to listen to his dad. And then after his dad dies, he really doesn't have anything. And the worst part about his dad dying is that, Broly, at the beginning of the movie was willing to, like, behind closed doors, like, defend his dad when they were talking about how he was abusing him. But then after he's dead, he doesn't even really react. He turned into a Super Saiyan, but Broly doesn't know about the Dragon Balls. He doesn't know about any of that. Like, the person he's known for his entire life is dead and gone, and he doesn't even really seem to be affected after he turns into a Super Saiyan. After he reverts to his base form, after the Gogeta fight and all that stuff, he really just doesn't seem affected. So really, I'm disappointed that they didn't. They could have. They had the potential. I'll give kudos here. They gave him a good foundation. So my hope is in the next season of Dragon Ball Super that they'll expand on this, and that this part was mostly just as an introduction to Broly and just for fun. And the character arc stuff will come in the show later on. But yeah, the Dragon Ball Super Broly did not have any character development, like, at all. Like, Goku, Vegeta, nobody got any character development, which is different from the last couple of movies, like in Battle of Gods and in Rival of Frieza, where at least got something. Even if it didn't stick, like Goku not laying his guard down because he still lets his guard down, and Vegeta not being uptight because he's still uptight, and Goku and Vegeta not liking the power from other people, but they still get powers from other people. At least he had something. In this one, we literally didn't get anything. We got a good introduction. Broly's introduction was fantastic. Like, it was a really good introduction, and it had a lot of room to play with. But other than that, we really didn't get anything out of this movie. So that's all I really wanted to talk about. Let me know what you thought about this movie. I still thought it was really fun, and I really enjoyed it. The animation was, fantastic. It was fantastic. It was spectacular. Fantastic. And Gogeta got that dub, Gogeta gang. But yeah, let me know what you thought. I really am looking forward to see what they do with Broly. Hopefully he gets a little more development in the next season of Dragon Ball Super. So, if you like, if you want to subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.